sometimes I'm reminded to keep my circle very small because there's a lot of very weird people out there. And not only is there weird people, there are people that look like they are in your camp. They're not in your camp at all. You remember at one point we made a video showing Lovi, Elias, and the man that said he took Lovi to Ghana. And it was kind of like a very long string on that episode. We kind of showed that that man was connected to the spiritual father of Larry Reid. Larry Reid was the person who was defending Lovi online. So it's like, oh, okay. So it makes sense, you kind of see where that whole thing comes from, because that man was the one that Larry Reid would put on his show, Bernard the whole nine jazz. So it's like, okay, now it makes sense why he was being defended by him. But then later on, you see that Larry Reid had a video in a live stream where he himself says that there was a part where he was going to Ghana. So you're like, hey, Ghana is just popping up all over the place. And so there's a lot of these events, a lot of these things that you see, but you just don't realize how wide they go. Now, very recently, I was reminded of it because of a certain post. So Lovi posted on his Facebook, happy birthday to that man who said he had accompanied him to Ghana, right? Said, happy birthday to the man over there. Now, why did this kind of like remind me of this whole story or thingy? Is because when I kind of saw the kind of circles that man has, who it kind of like was like, you know what, you're better off staying in your corner. You're better off staying in your corner. So this man turns out to be friends with this mandem here. Now, if you have not been following this channel, you may not remember that mandem, because that mandem is the one who we made a video showing that he is the mandem that was crowning Sarah Jakes and Robert. He's the same man who was crowning T.D. Jakes' daughter and son-in-law in Ghana, in that service. You remember that thing? Yeah, king and queen. You remember that? All the way to they went all the way to Ghana for that to happen. This happened, by the way, around the time when Jakes had handed over the church to them. So I'm like, okay, this is a lot of weird stuff already. It's kind of very funny, and you'll remember Sarah herself has been on the dodgy. There's all these things where she does funny, weird Illuminati signs and stuff like that, almost pyramid kind of like thingy. We did an entire episode where we were showing. We're not saying that the lady is Illuminati, but we were like, there's a lot of signs on their posts which look weird. Like this post that she had with her husband. The husband's hand sign there, it's kind of dodgy. It's kind of these things have meaning in other places. And so you guys seem to be more than willing to be doing these signs than Sarah herself doing the very same. It's just weird. So when we see now y'all are visiting and being crowned by the very same individuals who seem to be in these strange circles, it kind of sends, you understand. It's like, what's going on? It's just kind of like feels like why does this look weird all of a sudden? Why does this look weird? And then, okay, fine, no problem. So that man has circles with the Jakeses, and then only to see that last year there were events where the Mandems, both this man who was with Lovi and the man who's with the Jakeses, same circles or around the same circles with Oedipos and whatnot. I don't know how close that relationship was, but I saw pictures where he's clearly there at their when they are invited, and later on he himself gets gets prayed for. Okay, he gets prayed for by Oyedepo, and I'm guessing Oyedepo is close with this man who's close with the Jakes. And so, you see these connections. It's like you are better off in your circle, because you might get into circles where you can't answer for the things or the questions that will come up when you are in those circles. There's a lot of circles out here that you're just better off not being part of. Sometimes we may be out here feeling like, if I was just in the circle. No, sometimes you're better off in your own circle of people. 5 of you there. You just kind of like talk about the gospel amongst yourselves, and that's just about it. Because once you get involved in some of these circles, you find problems. You hear things you just hear things that you just hear things that just don't you just hear things that just don't exactly encourage the right kind of an idea around. Because later on, when you see that these very same circles, basically, okay, these very same circles, when there's clear warnings about, hey, you know what, this mandem is very questionable, we don't want to be endorsing this kind of mandems. But guess what? You still see the same individuals in the same circles. See what I'm talking about? You catch my drift? Do you catch my drift? These circles are strange for a reason. These circles are strange to keep you at bay, or to keep you at a distance from them, because getting close to these circles can get weird. You all remember the TD Jakes picture where he was praying for Lovi and Passion Java. It's these circles. Now connect it back again, okay? Lovi and okay, just so that you have it in your memory. Okay, Lovi has his friend who is friends with the Bernards and whatnot, and the Jakeses. They all linked to that, and those people that he's friends with are clearly friends with the guys in Ghana. And then you can see those connections then connect back to the US and those friends that he has over there in the US. These here are friends by Thingy. And then on that other side, okay, Java and Thingy, they have Noel Jones connect them to those strings. It's a web. You don't need to be in any part of these circles. You just don't need to be part of any of these circles. The circles are strange for a reason. Circles are strange for a reason. The circles, I repeat, the circles are strange for a reason. And wanting to get close to these circles, you'll find yourself in drama that you cannot even explain. In circles you just can't explain. Why does it all web back into just their circles you are better off never being next to? So today, when I saw these pictures, when I saw that man who's connected to Lovi, with pictures with this man who was connected to TD Jakes, and then the same line goes all the way back to TD Jakes, Javas. It's a web. so, you just don't need to be. This is why they preach a type of a gospel. It's over there. Don't copy from them. Don't take nothing from. Just live there, and distance yourself from. Because you have no idea why it's weird for it. You see, the cycle is weird for a reason. Stay away from these mandams. Spirituality show with daily Christian commentary videos. So now it kind of connected a lot of dots. It connected a lot of dots. So you're okay. You're friends there. You are friends over there. I'm like, okay. It's weird for a reason. It was my first time seeing the picture of that man who connected Lovi with Ghana. And then to see that man who connected Lovi to Ghana friends with that man who brought Sarah and her husband to Ghana. So I was like, And that man connected to the Jakeses. You have Jakeses, and then the Lovey whole thing with Neil Jones, then string back. It's a whole web. It's a mishmash for a reason. Stay away from it. Clear cut, straight.